when banana? When is the banana zone? I'm going to show you that I think it's coming, and I think Solana is going to lead it. And as I've urged with you, patience is required. These things don't come instantaneously, but when they come, they can be life-changing.
Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. Let's join Raoul Powell in a conversation about these topics and more.
You see, we're at that point in the 4-year cycle, just ahead of the US election, where things get very exciting. And often around the halving period, there is a pause. It's often global liquidity has paused, which has happened recently. But on a forward-looking basis, as I've explained to you in other videos, liquidity is about to surge. Liquidity is about to surge while some other very interesting things are going on. You see, Solana had some very big announcements. If you remember, there were two things that struck me about Solana that I really liked, outside of the fact that there's a lot of developers building on it. It's a great network. They've got the right narrative. They're focused on kind of retail mass adoption. And we've obviously seen meme coins. But there were two big things there that really got me interested. One was NFT compression, which means NFTs can be opened up for different use cases, whether it's ticketing, whatever it is, even derivative contracts. Compressed NFTs allowed massive scale NFTs at low cost. Then it was Firedancer that got me really across the line, made me all in on Solana, where I'm now 90% of my crypto allocation, which is 100% of my liquid net worth, is in Solana, which may be foolish to some of you, but I think that market concentration is the right way of doing things when you've got everything correlated because of the everything code. So Solana was my chosen bet because it started breaking out versus Bitcoin and versus Ethereum back in about October last year. That made me pull the final trigger to say, yes, this is going to be the chosen one of this cycle of the larger tokens. But then this week, we had more news. One, ZK compression. ZK compression, zero knowledge compression, is what it's doing is allowing the Solana chain to scale massively. Okay, that's really important. And when that goes hand in hand with Firedancer, which was the other big one, Firedancer allows a TPS that's unparalleled, up to 1 million TPS. Once you put 1 million TPS with compressed NFTs and then a whole compressed chain, what you've got is the most scalable, fastest blockchain in the world. And that, to me, is important for mass adoption. The next phase of that was Blink. Blink was a step towards mass adoption, where you can embed a code and it can appear on any Web2 site, where you can create transactions in Solana. There's something massively empowering because it means any website can do that now. So you kind of don't need that embedding a new wallet for every experience or driving them to a different landing page to do something. You can do it straight on social media itself or on a third-party website. So you're creating more and more ways for people to use this ecosystem. Look, I think it's very, very powerful. Anyway, let's look at the charts, because the charts tell the story to say, listen, this is probably the last chance you're going to get to buy these big layer ones before we hit the banana zone.
Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, advocates for Bitcoin as a fast-track investment. He highlights its potential for high returns alongside lithium, emphasizing the need for a high financial IQ to navigate such investments. Robert Kiyosaki, renowned for his active investments in speculative assets, recently discussed Bitcoin's role in fast-track investments. He believes Bitcoin offers substantial returns, provided investors are knowledgeable and prepared to handle the risks involved. Through his business of educating budding entrepreneurs, Kiyosaki emphasizes the importance of improving one's financial IQ. He promotes his cash flow board game as a tool for learning financial strategies, comparing its lessons to real-life investment scenarios. Kiyosaki has also highlighted lithium as a high-potential investment. He shared a picture from Canada, where he and his partner Marin Katusow discovered a $5 million vein of lithium. With its significant demand, especially from companies like Tesla for electric vehicle batteries, Kiyosaki views lithium as a vital asset for the future. Consistently, Kiyosaki advises his audience to diversify their investments into gold, Bitcoin, and lithium. He believes these assets not only promise high returns but also contribute positively to environmental sustainability.
So the Solana chart is textbook perfect wedge pattern. I put this on social media. I've talked about it. It's absolutely perfect. So that was the final retest. We've had 3 tests of the lower trend line, 3 tests of the upper trend line. That is about, for me, these patterns have the highest probability of success of all patterns. Continuation, wedges, triangles, whatever you want to call them. I don't get bogged down the exact methodology, pennants. I just say everything looks like a wedge is a wedge. For me, that's a wedge. When it breaks the top, it accelerates. But now from the bottom part, this gets really interesting. Now, what is also interesting is at Global Macro Investor, we look at the volatility of assets and see when they get to very low vol assets, often they reverse and go to higher volatility. In crypto, generally, low volatility is downtrending markets and high volatility is uptrending markets. So every time that Solana has got down to this 50 level in 30-day historic volatility, it tends to reverse. This is exactly what happened yesterday. And the last 5 times it's done this, from this level, it did 109% in December in 2 months, 32% in 2 months in June, August 57% in 2 months, September 527% in 3 months, February 78% in 3 months. So it's a very powerful signal that I really, really like. Now, the same signal was actually seen on Bitcoin. The good thing about Bitcoin is we've got a longer price history. So every time we've got somewhere close to the 20% volatility, Bitcoin more mature, less volatile, has bounced massively. And again, if you look at the numbers, these bounces have led 83%, 85%, 200%, 100%, 85%, 71%. These are bloody good signals. Now, nothing is fallible, or nothing is infallible, but it puts probability on your side. The other thing that I look for is continued strength from the leader versus others. And this is crucial that you understand this is Solana versus Bitcoin. It is stair-stepped higher and higher and higher. You can see when I bought Solana, when it broke out versus Bitcoin and Ethereum, I'll show you in a sec, back in September, October last year, and then it stair-steps higher. So we're about to explode through the next level. So owning Solana should outperform owning Bitcoin. And here's the same chart versus ETH. Very similar kind of pattern. We expect once we get that kind of 0.055 level in Sol ETH, even with the ETH ETF, we should see Solana outperform. Now, we also had the news today that Van Eck have filed for a Solana ETF. That doesn't mean it's going to get approved. Some of these people have filed for years in advance. They just want to get in, get some feedback from the SEC. But we know people are going to want to go for a Solana NFT. ETH first. By the time you're watching this, within a week, we should have an ETH ETF, which should start bringing new capital flows into crypto land, and it will flow out the risk curve as always. So it goes into ETH, it'll spread into Solana, and then it will spread down the risk curve, and things like WIF or whatever it is outperform that. That's not a trade rag, but just that's usually how it works. So I think we've got everything in place for Solana and Bitcoin. Solana to outperform ETH and Bitcoin.
2CP Capital outlines several factors that could cause Bitcoin to drop to $50,000. Despite the potential short-term dip, analysts remain optimistic about Bitcoin's long-term potential. Bitcoin's recent dip below $61,000 has sparked fears of a further decline. Historically, the $60,000 support level has been resilient, but it now faces new pressures from various market factors. The defunct Mt. Gox exchange is set to begin repaying creditors in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash starting July 2. This influx of Bitcoin into the market could amplify volatility and push prices lower. Large Bitcoin transfers by the U.S. and German governments to crypto exchanges have also weighed on market sentiment. These sales introduce significant supply, contributing to downward pressure upon prices. On-chain analytics firm 10x Research warns of increasing market anxiety over a potential double top formation, a pattern that often signals an impending price drop. This, combined with current liquidity challenges, adds to the bearish sentiment surrounding Bitcoin. Despite these bearish signals, QCP Capital believes the market will find strong support around the $50,000 level. They note that interest in traditional finance remains strong, bolstered by regulatory easing worldwide, which could stabilize the market. The anticipated trading of the U.S. spot Ethereum ETF and the hype over the Solana ETF could inject positive momentum into the market, countering some of the bearish factors. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.